We're back. So yeah, bit of a break from making videos. Still been brewing. Hope you guys are all well and have been brewing and making some nice beers. I certainly have been still continuing to brew quite regularly, probably every couple of weeks or so. I've just been super busy with work and family and all that kind of stuff, life basically. So I haven't really had that much time to do both the brewing and the video making. So apologies, I guess, if you like watching this kind of stuff. So I have noticed there's been a bit of a cool down maybe on the amount of beer related videos being put out. So I thought I'd better pull my finger out and do some filming. So I thought, why not? Let's film my next brew. It's going to be quite a straightforward one. So I thought, well, let's get it on video and put it out. So yeah, it's been a while. It's going to be even longer by the time this comes out. So yeah, so sorry about that. Had a little break. But I have been encouraged recently by some quite nice comments on the channel just from old videos of people brewing beers using the recipes that I've created and put up there, and yeah, had some really good feedback. So that's kind of buoyed me back into action a little bit. Give me a sort of an incentive to make some more stuff. So like usual, it's going to be, you know, fairly straightforward. There's not going to be a huge amount of technical detail, but you know, if you want to brew it and you use the same steps as I do, you'll get a decent beer. Hopefully keep it clean and watch your fermentation temperatures, and you should get a decent beer. So what I'm brewing up today is I don't want to call it a neck oil clone. It's more of a nod to neck oil, a nod in the general direction of neck oil, oily neck, lube of the neck, lubey neck thing. So basically I'm using the Crossmyloof Neck Oil Hop Blend, and yeah, just putting that in a pretty standard base, and I'm using some American ale yeast to ferment it. So should come out something like neck oil, I'm guessing, but you know, if you want to brew the clone recipe of this, probably don't follow this. Go and look it up on the internet and do it properly. But this should come out fairly close, I would say, to the commercial version. So there's tons of recipes on the internet for this. They all sort of follow the same format in terms of the grist, which is some extra pale malt of some description, or lager malt or pilsner malt, whatever base malt you want to use, as long as it's kind of low colour, it's probably fine. I'm using Munton's extra pale Marisotta for mine. Then there's an addition of some sort of low colour caramel type thing. It says American Crystal, I think, on a lot of the recipes. So I'm using crisp caramalt, and they all seem to have some dextrin in there, or carapils. So I'm doing a 21 litre batch. I'm going to be fermenting that so that I get roughly 1 keg's worth, 19 litres finished and kegged. So this is a 21 litre batch, and for that I'm using 3 kilograms. Sorry, I've got to put the old glasses on. 3 kilograms of the extra pale Marisotta, 200 grams of the caramalt, and 200 grams of dextrin malt. So that should give me an OG of 1041, and that should finish off around the 4.2%. So neck oil, as you know, if you've drunk it, it's quite a sessionable beer, lowish alcohol, 4.2%. So that's what I'm aiming at. Hop wise, as I've said, I'm using the neck oil blend. So the original recipe uses 6 hops, I think. 3 of those hops are used on the hot side, and then 3 different ones are used as a dry hop. Now obviously this blend, don't think it specifies, it doesn't specify what hops are in it, but I'm assuming it has all of those 6 hops all in this blend. So obviously I'm going to be putting all 6 in the hot side and then all 6 on the dry hop as well. So that's where it's going to differ slightly. So as I say, if you want to, you know, get as close to the original as possible, then buy those 6 hops individually and put them in the right amounts. But you know, it probably end up costing you a lot of money. You're going to end up with bits and pieces left over if you buy, you know, 100 grams of this, 100 grams of that. You might have it in the fridge, I don't know, but much easier just to buy a pack of this neck oil blend. So really just convenience and ease of use. So I'm using 150 grams in this recipe. So I've got 50 gram and 100 gram pack. You can buy 200 gram pack. If you want to go heavy on the dry hop, then by all means get a 200 gram pack and whack it all in the dry hop. You're going to get a much hoppier brew, but I'm going to try and stick, you know, it's fairly closely to how it should turn out. It's not overly hoppy, but there's a good hop presence in it. I am bittering with some Columbus. Sorry, that was the wrong packet. So yeah, I'm bittering with Columbus, just a tiny amount actually. So I'm only going in with 5 grams of this at the start. It's going to give me a total IBUs of 40, so fairly bitter for you know, in comparison with the alcohol. So I don't know what that works like on the old BUGU thing, but it's quite bitter for its alcohol. Again, if you look across the internet, the recipes, there's various hop additions and hop schedules for this. Some, or a lot of them, seem to have a 20-minute addition and a 15-minute addition just on the hot side, and then the rest is in dry hop. Some of the let's say the larger online retailers, they do a kit, which I think is mostly, I think it's like a bittering edition, then it's a big whirlpool edition, and then a dry hop. So there's no kind of flavour additions there. I'm going with the kind of more flavour addition rather than a whirlpool. So I'm going to basically, this neck oil blend is supposedly 12.9% alpha acid, so it's quite high on the alpha acid. So I'm not going to be able to add too much of this on the hot side, obviously, unless I put it in the whirlpool and cool it down, but that's not how I'm doing it. I am going in with a 20-minute addition, so 15 grams of this at 20 minutes, and then I'm going in with 25 grams at 10 minutes, and then I've got 10 grams left over, which I wasn't going to bother with, but I'm going to just chuck that in at 5 minutes, and then that's it on the hot side. No whirlpool. So it's really, I'm concentrating on getting the flavours in on the boil, not necessarily that much aroma. I will obviously get some aroma from those later additions, but it's not going to be like a massive hit. The massive hit hopefully is going to come from the 100 gram dry hop that I'm going to be adding. So I'll be doing that on about day 10 maybe, so I'm going to let it ferment right out. I'll be doing it in my Firmzilla all-rounder, so yeah, I can add that in day 10, purge it, you know, no problem. So I'm not too worried about it having finished, as it'll be under pressure. So yeah, I will be fermenting it with Crossmyloof 5 American US ale yeast. You can use whatever you want, US05, BRY97, Mangrove Jacks West Coast, that kind of thing, if you're going with dry, or if you prefer using wet yeast, use whatever you want, as long as it's a kind of American ale yeast. So that's going to give me a nice clean brew, low esters, a clean palate, ideally suited for this type of beer. So I live in Kent in the UK, the water around here is terrible out of the tap. It's barely drinkable. We have to put it through a Brita filter, take it, you know, to drink it. It's not very nice. So it doesn't make good beer. I've tried several times. I've persisted several times with it, desperately trying to get a decent beer. I just can't. So again, I'll be using Spotless water. They've just opened up a new Spotless water refill thing about a mile from where I live, which was super handy. Well pleased about that. So I'm using Spotless water, and I'm adjusting that to an American pale ale profile using Brewfather. Yeah, so it's basically RO water. I'm adding back in those sorts to achieve a American pale ale profile. It's all on Brewfather. I'll put this all in the thing, so in the comments, so you can have a look and work out what you need to do if you ever fancy doing this. I will be mashing that at 66 degrees for 60 minutes. I'm doing a 30-minute boil. So as I said, first hop addition will be 5 grams of Columbus at 30 minutes, and then 20, 10, 5 with the mix, and then the rest is dry hop. What else is there to say? Not a lot. So yeah, gonna get this underway. I've weighed everything out. This is in the evening before I'm going to be brewing. So my new brewing regime is to get everything prepared, which is, yeah, it's a new thing for me. I'm the sort of person that doesn't prepare stuff in advance, and then, yeah, makes life hard for myself the following day. So I've got into a good habit of preparing everything the night before. So all my grains are weighed out. I've got my salts and everything, and all those stuff, water additions weighed out. I'll weigh out my hops, and I'll get my Brewzilla all set up with the strike water in there already. If I can work it out, I'm going to get the profile sorted out so I can do a delayed start. So when I come down in the morning, first thing I do is boom, mash in. So I've been doing that at the weekends on Sunday, and I'm done and dusted by like 10:30. Yeah, it's a good way of being able to fit it in. So yeah, no excuses about not finding time to brew. You just got to work it out, you know, best way to do it. So yeah, I'm all set for the morning. So when you see the footage of the brew day, that will be in the morning. All right, so get hopefully a bit of footage on the way, and I will see you at the end for the tasting. Cheers. For the tasting. So this has been in the keg now for 3 or 4 weeks, so it's had a decent amount of conditioning time. I must admit, I've been having a few samples along the way, and actually I was away the weekend, last weekend, went up to the Cotswolds with a bunch of friends, and I took a little mini keg there, which went down very nicely. Everyone enjoyed it. So this is my version of, well, kind of a nod in the direction of the neck oil. So obviously this is the commercial version, and just for the sheer head of it, I thought I would do a comparison. So as I said, it wasn't really designed to be a clone of this beer. It was just a kind of, you know, well, a neckish oil, something that slightly resembles it in a light session IPA. I used those combination hops from Crossmyloof and a fairly straightforward malt bill, which we've already talked about. So let's have a look at what I've got, the result of mine. It's hopefully you can see that on the camera. It's very pale, slightly hazy. Haven't really sort of paid much attention to trying to clear it. It's just been sitting in the keg, so slightly opaque, slightly hazy, but you know, I don't really care. And to be honest, my local pub, when you get it on tap from there, it comes out kind of like this. So in terms of looks, I'm happy with it. We'll see how it compares to this one in a moment. It's got a sort of fluffy head to it, aroma wise, smells good. Right, so shall we open this one and see what it looks like in comparison to the real deal? For those that have not had neck oil, it's widely available in cans. £7.50 for four 330 cans though, pretty steep. We'll talk about how much this cost me in a bit. So anyway, let's get this out of the can and into a glass. All right, so already I can see, actually this one's a fair bit lighter, which is surprising. But I guess maybe the original recipe they used Pilsner malt, I used extra pale Marisota, so probably not that surprising really, to be perfectly honest. There's a slight difference in colour. Mine is slightly darker. Actually really good hop aroma coming from this one. Maybe a tad more than mine. I was expecting mine to be hoppier, to be honest. Straight out the can, it's got a nice aroma. We'll see how it dies down in a minute. Oh, I was going in for the kill there. Hold off. So this one's got a nice head on it as well. It might die down in a minute after I've poured it. This one says on the can 4.3%. I think mine turned out 4.2%. So yeah, let's have a look then. So, all right, well, it's clear to see that mine is slightly darker, and actually I'm fairly pleased that this is not crystal clear. There's a slight haze to this one out of the can as well. So in terms of looks, not far off, I would say. Yeah, as I say, it's slightly darker, but I'd use a different base malt. Aroma, I said out the can I could smell this, but it's kind of died off a little bit. Not dissimilar. This one's maybe got a slightly more, I would say, washing up liquid type smell, and I get that off of the version I get in my local pub. I don't know what it is, but that's all I can describe it as. It's not an unpleasant smell, but it smells like kind of washing up liquid. Mine doesn't have that. Mine's a bit more fruitier, I'd say. This has maybe got a bit more citrus. Mine's got a bit more fruit, I'd say. But again, not far off. If you were blind tasting, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that much difference, I'd say. Right, let's go in for the taste. Try the original one first. Very pleasant. Yeah, it's not a bad beer, this, for what is now a mass-produced beer. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely taste the hops. It's crisp, medium bodied, I'd say, medium to light bodied. Give mine a go. Mine's got a bit more body to it. Maybe a little bit more sweetness from the malts from mine as well. This one's a bit drier, I'd say. Not so much sweetness from the malt. I'm picking up that washing up liquid thing again, right? So let me know if you know what I mean on this. If anyone else gets that kind of washing up liquid taste from this, it's not completely unpleasant, but it's more apparent once I've tried mine, I think. Yeah, I mean, this is not neck oil, this is neck oil. Which of the two do I prefer? Of course, I'm going to say mine. I prefer the body on mine. I prefer the sweetness from the malt. And there's a bit more flavour coming from the hops, maybe from those early additions. That doesn't mean if you would prefer it, it'd be your preference. You might be trying to get an exact replica of neck oil, in which case don't try this recipe. But I would say, in summary, if you're looking for something that tastes or resembles neck oil in that it's easy drinking, it's sessionable, I would say mine's got a bit more body to it, and it gives you that sort of hop satisfaction, then this is a nice easy brew. It was so quick as well. There's no hop stand or anything like that. It was an hour mash, 30-minute boil, done. So it was super easy, and I would definitely do it again. As I say, went down well with my mates at the weekend. They really enjoyed it, and I'd say it's a great summer beer, or beer for any time, but it is a great summer beer. And yeah, it's better than neck oil. So there you go. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy these. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy these. And I'll see you next time, I guess. So apologies for the delay again. As I said, super busy, and busy in a good way though. I've been doing some good things. But I will try and do a few more videos. I did record my last brew, which is a Brewer's Gold English Pale Ale. And I'm planning on brewing this weekend. I've been working on a hazy pale ale with crush and nectar on. So I've been tweaking that recipe. And I think I'm going to record it this weekend. So that one should be coming out in the next few weeks. I don't know. See how long it takes. So until then, have fun, guys, and cheers for now.